So how to be an attractive person? We all get attracted to charisma, to attractive person. And it's important whether you want to do a business, whether you want to do sales, whether you want to be attractive among your relatives, whether you want to attract a girl or a guy, whatever the gender you are watching, is absolutely important. But do you know it's actually less to do with your looks and so much more to do with several other attributes that you can actually develop, practice, cultivate, and use. If you want to watch, if you want to learn, let's continue.
So, my name is Ramindu Randeni. I'm a leadership coach, I'm a business coach, and a sports performance coach. So, welcome to my channel.
Vast majority of the people that I know in this part of the world, when I say South Asia and even Southeast Asia when I travel, they are kind of stuck in the huge limiting belief. Thanks to our backward cultural attributes and religious beliefs, religious beliefs done very incorrectly. And a lot of the people believe, this part of the world we have about probably more than 1 billion of Hindus and so many hundred millions of Buddhists. They believe that we have a lot to do with our past karma. The person being charismatic and attractive, something's inborn. Those are a couple of things actually, I'm going to say a big no, because of the things that I've learned, because of things that I've experienced, and because the people that I've coached in my life, I've seen these things are actually incorrect. These are limiting beliefs, meaning the beliefs that you have that limits your progress, limits yourself. So this brings me to the principle number 1 for how to be an attractive person like nowhere else. The number 1 thing is, what do you believe that what other person think about you is actually what exactly that person think, feel, and react. So if you already believe that the other person thinking that you are inferior and the other person get that message as non-verbal communication, immediately your energy, your charisma or your attractiveness drops, and also the other person feel it and react upon it. Simple as that. I'm sure as you learn it, you feel that you're energized already. You will feel that you're actually about to get liberated, because this is something that I'm talking about is within your fullest control. So all you have to work is turn inward and think about what exactly do I believe in certain circumstances. When I go to this hotel, when I go to this clubhouse, when I go to this ground, when I go to this school, work, relatives, wherever. What do I think about that person think about me? It doesn't actually matter what he think about you. It actually matters what you think about what he thinks about you. I want you to find that out and replace it by empowering line. You can think, I think that person likes me a lot. Deep down he loves me, respect me. These kind of things you can associate. There are several celebrities that I've searched. One celebrity that I can share, Maroon 5, the lead singer, Adam. And I remember he said he already believed that people love him when he goes to walk into a stage. He already believed that these people love him so much, whether it's his own concert or someone else's concert. And there are so many examples like that. Politician, be it sports, be it corporate or whatever. So they already believe that these people already love them or love him or her. So these kind of empowering lines are absolutely important. No matter what I say after this, without that, you will never be attracted, or you will never be attractive as a person. You need to work on that. It's not about the looks. It's not about which school you went. It's not about the geography, whether you're from north, south, east, or west. It's not about the language. It's not about your religion. It's not about your skin tone. It's not about anything else other than what exactly you believe. And what happens is that this world has come such a long way that a lot of the countries, a lot of the geographies got these labels. These people are from the south, these people are from the north, these people from these schools, these people from this area of the city are attractive, are not attractive, etc. etc. They got these labels and you actually deceive yourself to believe it. So you just need to change the definition, change those dialogues internally, and you will see a miracle will happen. the way you behave, and as a miracle, you see how people react to you. So this has some unique obstacles for us as Asians. One of the things that is, which bring me to the principle number 2, is your cultural and religious beliefs. As I said in another video as well, culture is what I call dead people controlling. So some people created something, and for so many hundreds or thousand years, God knows when they did that for some reason, and we are simply continuing that without questioning it. The way we behave, the way we greet, and where we laugh, where we sit, where we talk, where we maintain a hierarchy in a society. A lot of the time, it actually make you inferior. It actually crushes your spirit. It's important to be respectful, but it's not actually very important to have a hierarchy. Because a lot of the titles I see, like, this part of the world, you can't even say it's just Mr. President. You have to have so many adjectives before you come to that. Separate yourself so far and put yourself in such an inferior position. You see in developed countries, they just simply call Mr. President. It doesn't mean that they don't have respect. It actually means they're not inferior to anybody. It's time for us to adopt that in our corporates and religious and cultural and family hierarchy as well. And one of the biggest problems is, since I mentioned about karma, a lot of people in this part of the world, man, they are so haunted by past karma. So in this part of the world, one of the things I mentioned about karma, one of the biggest problem is that we got so ingrained ourselves to think about past karma, right? I'm sure you have that question if you're a Hindu or a Buddhist or whatever the background that you have. I'm sure you've heard of that if you're an Asian. And a lot of people think that we can't control this past karma. That's why I'm not very attractive. That's why the people are not connected with me. It's actually a whole lot of rubbish. Karma itself, Buddhism explained, is actually only one of 5 elements. So 4 elements outsmart the karma itself. Okay, so we talk about karma. Karma means kriya. Kriya means action, past actions. Here's the secret. You can outsmart that with present action. This was revealed to me by the Venerable Ajahn Brahm, who was a student of Ajahn Chah. He's an Australian Buddhist monk, Ajahn Brahm. I met him. I was so fortunate to meet him 2 times in London. I asked this question about karma. He said, you guys are so focused about past karma, but guess what? You're doing karma right now. So it's all about the present action. So if your present action is mindful, refined, and sharp, focus, you can actually outsmart that past karma. So I'm not saying the past karma is not there. What I'm saying is a way to outsmart it. I hope that liberate you right now. It's been haunting so many people for decades. So that brings me to the 3rd principle. Once you deal with that, the 3rd principle that you need to incorporate is the energy. Now, energy, there's a superficial part of it, and there is a deep part of it. I'll tell you the superficial part of it first. The superficial part of it is that the usual energy, meaning how you maintain your energy, like the normal things that you need to eat right. If you eat a lot of junk, you're gonna actually lower your energy. If you don't sleep well, if you don't work out, if you associate so much of negative associations like scrolling down the social media so much, it's gonna drain your energy. If you associate so many people who always talk about negative stuff, who doesn't have a drive, doesn't have a direction, you're hanging out with them so much just because you know them, it's going to drain your energy. So once that energy is drained out, it's physically very visible when you're trying to speak with someone. It's physically visible when you are speaking with a community to attract that person. You're already drained out, your energy is not there. So eating properly, sleeping properly, working out, and avoiding bad association, avoiding bad habits like scrolling down hours and hours in social media, all those things are actually really important to protect your energy. Remember, your energy is your biggest resource, and it's quite physically visible if you don't have energy. And the deep part of this energy is how you project your energy at another person. There comes a little bit of depth into this. What happens is, I've met so many people, even corporate leaders, women in particular, have actually come to me and said, look, Ramindu, I have this problem. When I'm at a certain network, etc., I feel like I am small. I feel like my energy is very low. I feel like I'm not very confident. I'm not very attractive. I don't do this conversation well. And I found out she actually projects her energy too much on the other person, meaning you started thinking too much about the other person's energy. Is this person so much of energy? Is this person speaking better than me? Can I attract this person? This kind of conversation, put the energy into that other person, you lose your energy. It's really important you retain your energy. There are so many ways, but I'll share one on this video. One of the ways that you can do is, When you go to a place, a lot of people out there super sensitive about what's happening around them. So it drains their energy. So one of the things as it is, like I said, you focus on that person or the situation or something. You need to focus on basically you need to bring the energy back to yourself by focusing on your body. You have a body, so use it. Take a deep breath, and as the chest fills up with the breath, with the oxygen, focus on your chest. And when you're busy thinking about that, you're back in your zone, you're back in your body. This is actually the fundamentals of when you're doing the breathing meditation. When your mind goes away, we'll bring it back by breathing in and focusing on your chest, focusing in your lungs. So that's where the starting point, and then we drag it upwards to the nostrils. So drop that aside. I'm just breaking that away for you to use that in a practical world. Focus on your chest and take a deep breath, and then focus on your chest and think about your chest and think about your body, and follow that with a nice little sentence that give you a little kick. Who are you? I'm someone, etc., etc. I'm someone who's attractive. They all love me. They need me. I'm capable of fulfilling anybody's greatest pain or whatever. You can replace that with the skill, the knowledge that you have, the intention that you have. So actually that brings me to the fourth principle, the intention. It's absolutely important that no matter what you do, if your intention is point of doing any of these principles, if your intentions are wrong, no matter you have a super conversation inside of yourself, you do all those things, you protect your energy, you go to a network to meet for a business person or to meet a girl, to date or whatever, and your intentions are wrong. For instance, I'm going to meet that person so I can get a sale. I'm going to meet that person so he will give me a promotion. I meet this person to get that person's other contact that I want. I meet this girl because I so want to date her. Those are wrong intentions. Nobody wants to give something. You got to give. And that's the most attractive thing. For instance, be a human of service. How can I add great service or great value to this person's life? How can I make this person feel so good right now? Uplift his thinking. I'm pretty sure most of the people that you talk to, one way or the other, they will talk about something negative that they're dealing with. Or you meet this attractive girl. How can I just simply have fun with this girl? Have a nice time instead of thinking, how can I take this girl on a date? So the date, the business contact, that sale will happen as a byproduct of your intention. So set the intention right. That's one of the most attractive qualities that you can develop. And unfortunately in this world, a lot of people don't have this quality. They're so consumed about getting something to themselves. And as a result, you're not very attractive. No matter what tricks you use, people understand when you're faking it. You can fake by wearing good outfits. You can fake your gestures, your manners. You can use the right words, but your intentions are wrong. Sooner or later, because you're speaking to other human beings, sooner or later, they're going to figure out, I don't think this person was genuine with me, and they're going to back off. And now that brings me to the next principle, that no matter you have all of these, even if you have the good intentions, I've seen some people have good intention, especially my older generation, and they said, even with good intention, I ended up making a huge mess, a chaos, a conflict, because you need to approach any person with great manners. Learn great manners and etiquette. One of the examples is I spoke to one of the Scottish pastors many years ago. I asked the pastor because he has worked in so many countries. He's worked in Sri Lanka, he worked in African countries, Europe, etc., etc. I asked him, Pastor, tell me what's the way that you can really win a community, because clearly he was working with so many communities in this country as well as in every country. I was expecting him to say believing in Jesus or something. He said, Ramindu, the most effective and influential way that you can get into any community is having a good set of manners. Of course, I've heard it from my parents, my siblings. They have inculcated great manners in me, but after hearing that, I took that into a whole different level. Manners comes first. What are these manners? Manners means a way of approaching a human being with respect. So put that first, you're guaranteed that you can get through to the community, you can get through to anybody and win that person and have a conversation. You can even resolve a conflict if you have great manners. So manners comes first, attached with kindness, compassion, these spiritual elements. Those things comes first. You need to be an approachable person. We say he's such an approachable person. It's because you are kind and you had really good manners. So these principles are absolutely important to develop an attractive personality. You inculcate that, you're going to be an attractive person like no other. You're going to accelerate your interpersonal relationship in your workplace, or whether you're associating friends or whatever. If you want to have a date that girl or whatever, you're going to do that pretty well. So these are my ways that I've found out how to be attractive. If I hope this video is helpful. If you watch this video, you watch this for a reason. And the reason is your time has come. Remember, time is right, time is now, and take action right now. I'll see you again in another video. Limit Spirit.